Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of the Sunderland career mode. We are in November, so we're getting close to the January transfer window, but not quite there yet. The least busy month we've had so far today, actually. Plymouth away to start us off, simulate the game in the Cup, then Wycombe at home, Walsall away and Barnsley at home. So we'll sim Wycombe and the Cup game, but I want to play Barnsley at home because they're the side that are at the top of the table with us after 16 match days so far in the League One season. And it's only goal difference. In fact, we've both conceded 14 goals, so they've just been better in front of goal, which is something that's been an issue for us this year. Creativity. So I've changed formation. I've gone to a 4-1-2-1-2 wide. And I've thrown low up top. Now, the intention is, of course, to make a signing, bring in Sean Maguire, and play him alongside Will Grigg. So we shall see if that works once we get to the month of January. But I do need to sell someone on to raise the funds to make that striker signing. But who that will be decided upon from you guys over the next couple of days. But for now, we're going to concentrate on the game against Plymouth and hopefully get ourselves in a position to maybe not just get ahead of Barnsley at the top of the table, but maybe they'll drop points between now and our game against them, and we can pull away from them at the top of the table. But we need to do our bit in every game between now and then. It's tackled by Catamol. It's a poor pass though, and Sarcevic could cause us some problems here. Honeyman and Catamol are going to have their work cut out in the centre of midfield now that there's only 2 of them there, not 3. And I might have my work out. Trying to... Good save. Casada. That's going wide. Oh, it's a goal kick. We conceded 3 against Doncaster last time out. And Casada... It was the first time I'd used him properly. And unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to keep even remotely close to a clean sheet. But some of the goals that went in were stunning. And we've conceded another. It's Taylor to give Plymouth a 1-0 lead after 8 minutes. I think I'll be going back to McLaughlin in goal as my number 1 after this one. Plymouth playing well so far. It's a lovely drop of the shoulder and a decent delivery too. And James has to head that behind. Corners come in from Danny Fox. What's he going to do? It's looped towards the back post. Won by Edwards, but wide. Oh, nearly 2-0. Fox to Sarcevic to Taylor. They've apparently won their last 3 matches, Plymouth. So they're certainly in some good form. And they're 1-0 up here, and that could go anywhere. Took a deflection. It is going to be a corner for Plymouth as they look to get a second still. Easily been a better team. I think this formation isn't the one. We said we'd make a change. We're trying the 4-1-2-1-2. I might try a 4-2-2-2. Just to... Or 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, maybe. Just to add a few more bodies in the centre of the field, because that tends to be where the majority of my goals come from. Switch to a 4-2-2 for this second half to see if it plays any different. Just, I didn't feel comfortable at all with the single central midfielder sat in a deeper role. Felt so exposed at the back. It's a good block there by Matthews. And with the wingers now tucked in a little narrower, hopefully it will be slightly easier to build up play. They can still drift wide, but they're not just hugging the touchline consistently, which was an issue in that first half. Graham Carey will wish he'd brought that down and not gone for the first time Thunderbolt, because, well, it was nowhere near a Thunderbolt. Barely even a little bit of static electricity. Low will cut back, will float it. Why is the ball not going into the box when I try and cross it? Well, Grigg, nice footwork. Shot blocked by Wootton. I try and cross it into the box. I keep playing it to the edge, and I'm not entirely too sure what I'm doing wrong. Aidan McGeady with delivery. Jamal Lowe could be underneath this. Graham Carey somehow gets his head to it first. Down the line there to McGeady. That's whipped into the box to a dangerous area, but cleared away. McGeady will bring that down. Keep it away from the man that's with you. Thank you. Come on, I see Duncan Watmore there in a bit of space. Drop the shoulder. Work the space. Have the effort. Score the goal is the only thing that's missing so far. Corner for Plymouth. Graham Carey to deliver it on his left foot. Ladapo has come on for Taylor for them. Oh my lord, that took a deflection off Catamol. Actually took it further towards goal, then hit the post and stayed out, thankfully. Oh, it was going miles wide. It's hit Lee Catamol in the face and very nearly ended up in a second for Plymouth. Coming off the post there was a man who stood just inside the post, so hopefully had it been on target with the deflection he would have cleared it, although you can't necessarily rely on the AI sometimes. Jamie Ness in there to Lameras, across to Sarcevic, Graham Carey back to Sarcevic. Caseda holds on nicely. Not been amazing for me, Caseda, but on that occasion offering up a save that was necessary. Carey, he's left-footed, so I'm going to try and keep showing him onto his right and hope the ball in is worse than it could potentially be, and we've done well there. Max Power off the bench, but gives the ball away. Ness to Sarcevic, Ladapo, Sarcevic, driven hard and low, and it's past the keeper this time. Plymouth are about to make it 4 wins in a row. 2-0 up here against Sunderland. Grigg looking for the runner low again. He's gotten to it, and it's a good touch as well, actually. And Max Power could slot someone through here. Out wide to Aidan McGeady on his weaker left foot. It's a decent delivery. Sawyer gets up well. Really good ball in there, actually. Better than I expected it to be on McGeady's weaker side. Unfortunately, no goal back. It's another really poor pass. I'm not sure whether it's a formation or whether I'm just not at the races right now in this particular game. But Plymouth have been the better team. I've been better in the second half. Certainly I'm going to change away from the 4-1-2-1-2 wide. I might try the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. If not, we might try and use a 4-3-3 variant. But we've plenty of time left in the season to work stuff out. And we've given ourselves enough of a head start on everyone else at the beginning of the season to be able to find the right balance and not lose too much ground on those around us. Although, defeat there against Plymouth, and a heavy defeat as well. Kept more possession though in that game than I do normally with this Sunderland side, so that's a good start. Been having less than 40% possession in some games so far this season, so to have such a large amount, actually more than the opposition on that occasion, is better, but there's still work to be done evidently with a 2-0 defeat. We'll sim this game against Accrington Stanley though, coming up next in the Checkatrade Trophy, and then we'll head into the next league game. Right, simulating Accrington Stanley in the Cup. They're not in good form, evidently. 2 defeats and a draw in their last 3. We're in inconsistent form is probably the best way to phrase it. Got a yellow card early on there for Jimmy Dunn, but other than that, nothing really doing in this first half. No, nothing at all doing in it. God, Jimmy, please don't take lessons from Jack Baldwin about how to get yourself sent off. 15 minutes to go. Accrington go 1-0 up. We're going out of the Checkatrade Trophy. If Jimmy Dunn hadn't got himself sent off there, we might have stood a chance of getting through to the latter stages and maybe having the opportunity for some form of cup final this year. But I'm honestly not fussed about that competition at all. It's just a distraction from what is the main prize, and that's promotion to the Championship. The defeat against Plymouth has meant that we've lost a little bit of ground on Barnsley, but they drew. They didn't win. So they're still within touching distance. So that has brought Luton and Doncaster right into the mix as well. As you can see there, 3rd and 4th. All a point between each side on the way down the table. Scout report has come back as well. Hopefully there's someone decent in here because we haven't yet had amazing options. I'll give that another week. He's only 15. We'll give that another week. 6'5" too, Lance Turner. We'll give it another week as well. Dominic White is a definite no. We'll wait and see what positions they play in before committing. But we don't have any forward players yet in positions we can use. Wow. 3 players were in international duty and Jimmy Dunn out suspended. Well, I want to take Caseda out for McLaughlin anyway. Oh, McLaughlin's on international duty too. So I don't have a goalkeeper for this next game. Well, that's wonderful, isn't it? Max Power is going in goal. Right, central midfielder playing in goal for us then, as both of our goalkeepers are away on international duty. In the higher divisions, that wouldn't be a problem, because when there's an international break, the Championship and the Premier League don't play, but Leagues 1 and League 2 do. And evidently, it's causing us some problems here. McLaughlin away with Ireland, I believe. Caseda is Peruvian, I think. Looks like we're going to lose here, though, against Wickham. No real surprise with an outfield player in goal. That's annoying. Right then, okay, fine. Well, again, I wanted to take Casada out of the starting lineup anyway, and he's Peruvian. Put McLaughlin back in. Hopefully, they're back in time for this next game of the weekend against Wycombe. No, not Wycombe Wanderers. We just played Wycombe Wanderers here. Hopefully, they'll be back now. Jimmy Dunn's served his suspension. So Luton are now top of the table. We've dropped out the top two entirely. And now with this game against Walsall away, which is the next one, we have to try and win to get ourselves back in the automatic promotion hunt. In fact, we've dropped to 4th.
Are dangerous on the day, and I think they can win it for their team today.
To Zeli Ismail. Blocked. Corner will come in here for Walsall from George Dobson, a player that we've shown some interest in earlier on in this save. Nice attempted touch there from Jamal Lowe. Appreciate that. Here's Kinsella on the edge of the box, causing us some problems again. George Dobson drawn into action from open play this time. Zeli Ismail again forcing the corner. Walsall putting the pressure on at the minute. We're playing 4-2-2 to start with in this game, and hopefully it goes well. If not, again, I shall switch at half time and compare the performance levels, but we're certainly on the back foot at the beginning of this game. Is that another Walsall corner? It is. Talk about being under pressure. So far, we've been able to keep the ball out of our goal, and hopefully that will continue to be the case. And it is, thanks to a stunning save from McLaughlin. Not entirely too sure how he's kept that out. It's a great header down into the ground. Keeper thought about coming for it, didn't, and I don't know how he's kept that out, but certainly having an actual goalkeeper in goal has made some difference in this game, as opposed to the one against Wycombe, where we lost. Win that, please. Well up, Jimmy Dunn. Nice tackle by Baldwin, I thought. Nice interception by Matthews, I thought. Ferrier finds the space. McLaughlin makes the save. Holds on well. Doesn't throw that too, although what was closed down by Leahy. And here comes Walsall again. And again, McLaughlin called upon. Really caused me all sorts of problems in this game so far. Walsall. I'll look there for Will Grigg, and he's in behind. Just show some strength, show some strength, show some strength. Find a teammate. Go again? No. Honeyman to Jamal Lowe. Anyone going to make a run off me? There we go. Lee Cattermole played in. He's got to finish this. And does. Gorgeous opportunity for Lee Cattermole that he quite simply could not miss. 1-0 Sunderland away from home here in the Midlands against Walsall. And thankfully, it looks like we might perhaps have found the right formation for us. We were better against Plymouth in the second half with this 4-2-2. We're on the score sheet here against Walsall with a 4-2-2. And if we can keep being this creative, then we might well have found the source, well, not the source of our troubles. We know what the source of our troubles is. We might have found the solution to our troubles. Low to Grigg. Tackled. Ferrier driving down the line. Cross could come in. Perhaps. Does so. It's decent. Edwards with the head, and McLaughlin with the save. Keeper's been on form for us in this game so far. Zeli Ismail has been causing me all sorts of problems down that side as well. 7 shots they've had, as you can see, top left now. Walsall, but our one so far has given us a 1-0 lead. That is now no longer a thing. Ferrier with the equaliser for Walsall 5 minutes before half time. Floated towards the back post. And it's a really good header. It's actually a very good header. Can't deny them the equaliser. Thought we'd had more shots than just the one, to be fair. But let's have a look at the match facts. Okay, maybe we aren't being quite as creative as we thought. What formation are they playing? Just a box standard 4-4-2. Oh, they're playing a 4-3-3. Maybe that's the answer. I'll try that 4-3-3 formation from half time. The same one that they're playing. Play Cattermole in that CDM. And then see if we can force ourselves back into this game in the second half. Get ourselves in front again and finally start to create a number of opportunities in goal. It might just be that regardless of formation, I just don't have the quality of player good enough to be creative enough at the moment. Might be that there is no solution to our problem currently until we replace some of the players that are in our team. Duncan Watmore looking for Lowe. Offside. 2-1 lead, that far away from being a thing. But unfortunately, just as the ball was played, correct decision. Offside there, Jamal Lowe. Well up. Oh, no, not well up. And now he's in behind here. Kuya. Nice challenge. Not to foul. Fuck off.
It will be a free kick here.
Free kick for Zelly Ismail. Floated in. Oh, nobody's really won that. But Jack Baldwin hacks away and hooks away to ensure that our 1-1 scoreline stays as is for now. Edwards out wide there to Kuya. Drops the shoulder on me nicely. Turns inside well. Floats it in. And again, how McLaughlin has kept that out from close range, I'm not sure. Another Walsall corner. If anyone's going to get man of the match here today, if we're able to hold on for a point, it's going to be McLaughlin. And he certainly deserves it. 25 minutes to go. Still trying to grind and stay in this game. Another save. And the longer we can stay in it, the better chance we have of maybe sneaking a winner. And Will Grigg could get in behind here to get that winner. I've got Jamal Lowe at the back post. Oh, I was going to play it to him on that next pace. Oh, and he stayed down there. I think he's on his way back up. Is he? No, he's still on the floor there, Will Grigg. Oh, yeah, I think we are going to need Sean Maguire in January. It looks very much like we're going to need a new striker. He's back to his feet, but still hurt. Matthews wins that header, thankfully. Otherwise, Walsall would have definitely got themselves the 2-1 lead there with the man in the middle. Edwards finds Kinsella, and they've got the 2-1 lead anyway. Finally, at last, Walsall have gotten themselves in front. I've had nothing in response to them all game. Corner for Walsall, 7 minutes to go in the game. We've tried, oh, that's flicked on well. Offside netting only for Devlin. It was a tight angle for the fullback, but perhaps should have done better with that. 9 saves my goalkeeper has made in this game. Lovely flick on by Charlie White, but unfortunately that doesn't find anyone. Today's experiment with different formations doesn't appear to be paying off. We tried a 4-1-2-1-2 wide, tried a 4-2-2-2, tried a 4-3-3, and it seems that nothing is really working in improving our performances. I get the feeling that the 4-2-3-1 is genuinely the best formation for us. We just don't have the quality of player to be as good as I want to be at this stage in the series. We might have to settle for positive results, but not quite as emphatic positive results, or not quite as easy positive results to earn as we might like. But we're certainly getting battered here by Walsall after getting pretty much battered by Plymouth as well. So the changes we tried certainly haven't worked. We'll go back to what we know for the game against Barnsley, the 4-2-3-1, and hopefully we'll actually have a better guess. 17 shots, 11 on target for Walsall. Unbelievable lack of creativity. I didn't think it could go any further backwards from where we were, but evidently it can. Will Griggs out for 5 days with a bruised shoulder. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. We are still 4th. Barnsley have actually not been in that good a form either, and they've dropped to 3rd. It's Luton and someone else who I couldn't quite take in there a moment ago. It's Luton and Doncaster that currently top the table now. Right, we'll go back to what we know. We'll play the 4-2-3-1, although it won't be with Will Grigg up top. And hopefully, we'll get ourselves a better result this time around. Hopefully. Right, it's Barnsley Day. It's obviously a new day in real life as well. And we're going to take on what was the side that was leading the league. We were second behind them. We're now 3rd and 4th respectively. I made another change to the formation. We're playing 4-4-1-1 attack. So similar to a 4-2-3-1, but everyone's kind of moved up a little bit further up the field. So hopefully we shouldn't have the main striker being quite so isolated. We should be able to create a few more chances. I'm probably going to take McGeady out for this game and give Lewis Morgan a go. That's your guys' recommendation. So we'll try Lewis Morgan on the left-hand side. Also put, he's changed them around. Also going to put Gooch on the right-hand side and leave Power and Catamol in the middle. And Honeyman hopefully will have a bit more of an attacking threat now that he's a centre-forward sort of role rather than just a cam that's sat a little bit deeper. We shall wait and see. But I'm hoping that these might be the changes. even though we hoped in the last game and the game before that. These might be the changes that see us start to be more creative, get more chances, and then ultimately more goals and get ourselves back into the automatic promotion spot. So I've also brought in Flanagan at centre-back as well for Jack Baldwin, so we'll see if that makes a difference too. But Sunderland versus Barnsley, and hopefully this will be the one that works. Well, immediately, look how many red and white shirts are forward here. This might well be, even on 3.5 minutes notice, a positive change, and the positive change that we're looking for. I've got Lowe up top, Jamal Lowe, just purely because of his extra pace, to be completely honest. We'll see if that makes a difference. I could also obviously bring Grigon off the bench. Oh, that was very nearly a better delivery, but the keeper cuts this one out as well. I'm already certain that this change is going to be the one that opens up our potential for being a better team. George Honeyman draws a save out of Davies down low. Their keeper is on form so far, Barnsley. They're not the only ones, or sorry, we're not the only ones that have been in indifferent form. Obviously, they were top ahead of us, a joint on level and points, in fact, at one stage. And now we both find ourselves dropping down the table a little bit and into the playoff spot. So it's nice to know we're not the only side in the league that are having issues with regards consistent positive results. When obviously we're a title challenger, Barnsley are a title challenger, Luton are, Doncaster are, Portsmouth will be. There's a number of sides that could challenge for the top 2 spots in the league, and that's side netting only for more. Barnsley clearly going to be capable of creating their own chances in this game as well. 16 minutes in. It's been actually quite entertaining so far, but there's a warning sign and a shot across our bow from Barnsley, showing that they too might be the team looking to turn their fortunes around in this game. Hedges is bar goal. Right, okay. We dominated the opening 15. They've dominated the next 5 or 6. Barnsley 1-0 up at this stage in Malaya. A pretty simple move. Just nice little 1-2 actually. And it's a good finish, but still disappointing. Right, at least there's plenty of time to turn it around again. No, turns well, finds max power. He'll look through here for George Honeyman, and this could be the equaliser if Danny Panios hadn't come across and made a good block. Max Power will deliver the corner, and we could find a teammate underneath this, but Dougal is the one that heads it away. Oviedo could keep that in, couldn't, but it is our possession regardless. Oh, come on. He just kept backing away and backing away there rather than actually closing the ball down like I was asking him to with the controller. Never mind. We've still got possession back again. And space for Lyndon Gooch. And the ball is decent. And his first touch is decent. The defender's coming. Took that a pace too far. Danny Panios is having a great game at left back for Barnsley here. We could equalise here. Pinnock again wins the header. I think I'm going to have to start taking corners short and then lofting the ball into the box because... Oh no, Jamal Lowe! How's he missed that? 5 yards out. The keeper just stood there and watched and he smacked the post. I don't think we'll get a better opportunity to equalise, to be fair. Barnsley still having the lion's share of possession. That's something we haven't been able to turn around so far with this change of formation, is the amount of possession we've been having. But we have been more creative with the lesser possession, more so than we have been in previous games. And how Jamal Lowe hasn't tucked that away for 1-1, I'm not entirely too sure. But there's positive signs in this first half that even though we're currently 1-0 down, we certainly could get ourselves back in this. I'm going to bring Grant a little bit on for Lee Catamore, who's a little bit tired. And we'll see if we can turn it around from half-time. Now, more. Dougal. More again. Really heavy touch. He's found Barra, their goal scorer. Oh, this really good football being played by Barnsley here. But, oh, that was supposed to go to Leadbitter. Then we could have sent Lowe away with his pace. Barnsley committing a lot of men forward here. You can see, it was almost as if they've gone 4-2-4 there. And the wing-backs aren't necessarily staying back either. It was almost 2v2 there on the halfway line with the 2 centre-backs and my 2 more forward players. If Power could have found a bit of space there, we might have swept that away. And we have found Lyndon Gooch now, and he's in behind Danny Panios. He's closing me down here though, Panios, and I'm going to try and pull this back in there to Honeyman, whose touch just wasn't quite good enough to be able to... Where are you going, Brian Oviedo? Wasn't quite good enough to be able to get it under control and find the secondary pass to find a teammate in a goal-scoring position. We're showing much more promise with this formation though, and this starting lineup as well. Look at the way Lyndon Gooch is battling away time and time again with Danny Pinillos, and again Gooch is in behind. Certainly been one of our best performers so far this season. We'll look for Lowe. It's not going to find him. Morgan, can't find a teammate. We're better, but we still can't find that final pass. Not yet. Still 1-0 down here, but even though we're losing, I'm actually a lot more positive about things than I have been in previous games. Leadbitter around the corner there to Lyndon Gooch. Here's Aidan McGeady off the bench. Shot deflected very nearly. The instant impacts from our international. Tiam across there to Gooch. Out of his feet. Lyndon Gooch from distance. Saw that late there, Davies, but reacted well. And Mawat being challenged by Charlie White, but just chasing shadows in a minute there, Charlie. 5 minutes to go. I'm actually going to take this one short because my last few have just been quite comfortably cleared. Try and get that on McGeady's right foot if I can. Then lift it into the box. It's gone towards the edge, annoyingly. Now they're on the counter-attack. And it could be a decent counter-attack too. Moore has got the option there. Ibarra. They're running low on stamina here. Tiam also turning well. Deflected nicely, and we will try and just work it away. It's not just scoofing it forward and losing possession again. Might as well play. Oh, come on. Pay attention on the right-hand side, Lyndon. It looks like it's going to be a 1-0 defeat here against Barnsley, but or might even be 2. No, Alex Mao drills that wide of the target. I'm happy with the changes we've made in this final game. This is the way forward, this 4-4-1-1, I think. And I'm pretty sure once we're able to get Sean Maguire in to be a strike partner, I might switch to a 4-4-2 as well and drop George Honeyman into a more central midfield role from that cam spot. 6 shots, 3 on target. That's twice as many as we've had in the past few games. I'm pleased with that, even though we've lost. That's certainly the way forward. And hopefully in the next episode, tomorrow, we will be able to make that final step. Tomorrow's episode will be the one before the January transfer window, so I'm going to need your feedback tomorrow with regards, well, who to sell, because I know I want to sign Sean Maguire. I know I want to sign Sean Maguire. The FA Cup starts away from home against Cheltenham. It's a busy-ish month though, December, so we are going to need the squad to be performing at their best. But I'll have a quick look at the league table before we finish to see if we've just dropped any further down the table. Indeed, no, actually we haven't. We're still in 4th. Slightly losing touch with Luton and Barnsley and Doncaster at the top. 4 points clear and 8 points clear now. Luton at the top of the table, of ourselves in 4th. Luton having a good season. Bit of resurgence. Well, to be fair, they just won the league in real life as well, didn't they? Sunderland, unfortunately for them, losing out in the playoff final to Charlton in the final minute. Hopefully we don't have to suffer that sort of thing in this series. But fingers crossed now. I think that's the change we're going to make, or the change we're going to stick with. And then once we add the extra right personnel a little bit later on in the season, in a couple of months, then I'm sure we'll be able to push forward. I had someone comment in the comment section of yesterday's video, I believe, saying he's done 3 separate career modes with Sunderland this season, and on every single occasion he's found the need to just basically gut the squad and rebuild from scratch. And I can see why. I think that's what we're going to have to do here, but it's going to take a couple of seasons and more money raised via prize funds to be able to do that, because we don't have big budgets here at Sunderland at this present moment in time. But Gooch starting on the right is definitely a positive sign. He's going to stay there. Morgan was decent on the left, and I think McGeady could certainly have more of an impact off the bench, but I'm going to leave Lowe up top. I'm going to take Wyckoff. Well, Will Grigg's injured, isn't he? That's why he's not currently available. Hopefully he'll be back sooner rather than later, and then fingers crossed in tomorrow's episode we can push forward. To be fair, Aidan McGeady might be the man that moves on in January. I'm going to need to sell someone to afford Sean Maguire, so we'll have a closer look in tomorrow's episode. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Do drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel too, to make sure you don't miss out on any more of this series. And I'll be streaming later on this evening as well over on Mixer, so follow the link in the description to join me there too. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.